Şimdi buradayız. Ve buralara gezeceğiz. Thank you. Biletimizi biz internetten aldık. Beklemeyelim diye. Biraz kalabalık.
Captain Man, but you still need men and muscle. Making it hard for a convict to get an apprenticeship, but there are skilled men from our side working here. Those ships down there in the country, the ones you see growing before your eyes. That's why they're going to build them bigger still. Did you hear that, Jim? Over dinner. Before the gentleman tried to talk, his lordship was talking the largest dry dock in Belfast. Enormous gantries and dry dock road fishing and even exits. Here's the service. Outside on their hands, we'll remember that talk, yeah? Sorry, Mr. Houseman, fair one. What's so special about this edition of ships then? Luxury, James. That's a market way to start. Luxury, elegance, that's all expected. And that's why they're going to build them bigger still. Did you hear that, James? Over dinner. Before the gentleman tried to talk, his lordship was talking the largest dry dock in Belfast. Enormous gantries and dry dock built for a ship that hadn't even been built yet. Here's the service. If it's any discuss, I was being speculated. Never speculated more accurately. I did. I am privileged to accompany swimming. We're building a new generation of ocean liners. Big ships, Mr. Harrison. Largest and most luxurious ever. Not so fast as Cuba's Lusitania. Half as big again. More to the liking of the upper crust. 3, I think they said. Beats me where they find this sort of money from. Never mind, James. Mr. Ismay has the backing of a distinguished American financier, John Pierpont, through his shipping firm, the International Mercantile Marine Company. But I thought he built British ships. Find the British flag, James, and it shall be constructed in our finest shipyard by our most skilled craftsmen. Very reliable ones, acting ambassadors for the Empire. His Lordship and Mr. Ismay are eminent men. Following the Wollf is the world's greatest shipbuilder, and the White Star Line is the Jew of the Atlantic services.
Hey.
Oh, ready? Go. No, you didn't get it.
There's a shipyard right up ahead. If you wish to do it, just stick to the left. If you want to do it, stick to the right. It's the 6-minute cable car ride going through the construction of the Titanic. So there's a shipyard ride up ahead. It's a 6-minute cable car ride through the construction of the Titanic.
You could hear the noise from where we lived, but nothing prepared you for the size of the place. They put me to work on 401. That's what we called her. We knew she'd be the largest passenger ship in the world, but we didn't call her Titanic then. I was there from the beginning. I watched the shipwrights lay the keel blocks. They set big wooden blocks on the slipway to start with, then the keel at top of it, like a backbone, and the frames attached to that, like a skeleton. Workshops everywhere. It took weeks to find your way around. There were workshops for every trade you ever heard of. Painters, sailmakers, coppersmiths, boiler makers, cabinet makers. I even learned a bit about French polishing off them. Harlow's is a fine place to work, but dangerous. Every ship cost a life, and there'd be lots of injuries besides. I was in the engine works for a while. Very well equipped it was. That's where we built the triple expansion engines. 2 of them, each as high as a 3-story house. I worked in the frame bending shop. You had heat steel beams in the furnace, then hook them onto slabs of cast iron and hammer them curved. It was skilled work. You had to bend them more than you needed because the frame straightened out a little when it cruised. The shell plates that made up the hull weighed up to 4.5 tons. They were taller than the da. The plates were overlapped on the edges. Some were raised, one after another. We called it clincher. One of the foremen told me years ago, that's how you build steel ships. I worked as a heater boy. You had to heat the rivets on a wee plate. You pump the bellows till the rivet was white hot. Then you get a hold of it with your tongs and throw it up to the catcher. And he put it in the hole in the plate for the holder up. There were 2 of us on the other side of the plate to hold her up. We had to hammer the rivet so it filled the hole before it turned dull red. The double bottom. That's a wee space we called the tanks, made up of steel plates. The rest of the rivet squad, all down the weather deck. You could see the sheer of the hull, the structural reflection at sea. The stern frame had to be strong enough to take the rudder and turning in heavy seas. You'd have all these timbers and guy wires to steady the frame, and men scurrying around like ants underneath. When we came to launch day, I was torn between pride and fear. Standing ways were coated in tallow, train oil and soft soap, so the ship would slide when they shifted her weight off the blocks. And Titanic was the pride of Belfast.
Thank you for joining us. The tour will end in a few seconds. Please exit the car carefully and make sure you don't leave any personal possessions behind. When the car has stopped, push the lap bar down and lift up to exit safely. And mind your step as you leave the car. We look forward to seeing you again.
master of ceremonies, Mr. Keith, has not disappointed. There must have been 100,000 spectators here who have seen the finest sight in all of Belfast.
By late morning, all the passengers and crew were aboard, minus 2 firemen who were delayed at a public house in instant departure. At noon on April 10th, bang on time, and fully expecting to be in New York within a few days, the Titanic sounded her whistle and cast off her lines. Titanic's launch in May 1911 was watched by an estimated 100,000 people. Almost a year of fitting out followed, transforming the massive hull into the sumptuously appointed liner described by the White Star Line as the Queen of the Ocean. By March 1912, Titanic was ready for her maiden voyage. For Belfast, the triumphant culmination of many years' planning and labour. Before she could be handed over, Titanic had to undergo sea trials. On the 2nd of April 1912, she carried out a series of maneuvers in open water under the watchful eye of Board Trade Inspector Francis Carruthers. Then, at 8 p.m. that evening, she departed Belfast for Southampton. She was preceded by a considerable wave of expectation. At Southampton, the White Star Line had already constructed the massive deep-water ocean door, covering almost 16 acres and dredged to a depth of 40 feet. England's premier passenger port was flourishing, with new shops, restaurants, and businesses opening to service the growing passenger trade. And job opportunities on board ship and in the docks brought migrants from all over Europe and Ireland. Almost 400 Titanic's crew lived. Transforming the massive hull into a sumptuously appointed liner described by the White Star Line as a queen cruise. By March 1912, Titanic was ready for her maiden voyage. For Belfast, the triumphant culmination of many years planning and labor. Before she could be handed over as Titanic,
Butterworth, save for the music hall. You will find yourself downstairs, Mr. This is White Star Line. Name, all set. To attend the promenade doors.
SOS had just recently come into practice. But prior to that, the CQD was that was a Marconi manufactured one. It never had official recognition. I think that's where he exercised very excellent judgment. So he'd call CQD and then follow immediately with SOS. And then he kept that up every few minutes. I was admiring him for the judgment he was using rather than fearful of his death.
Just before going to my stateroom, there was a bump. As I turned the handle of my room, there was another bump. As I got into my...
I know you struck something I told him. Nothing in evidence against feeling numb and clean. Then he said, the water's up wet, take the mail.
Desde antes estaban avergonzados porque después de que celebraron, decían de
Look at the Titanic. It is a monstrous great boat as high as the Clarence Hotel, and I cannot tell you how long. We are going to embark tomorrow morning.
It is a monstrous great boat.
The boat is giant in size and fitted on a lightweight hull.
I have never seen this ship before. It looks very big and
I am, of course, most comfortable. And the ship is quite the most luxurious I have been on.
got it. She's got it. One more.
For people and proud of her achievements, and for us as a family.
Okay.